Think positively, network well, exercise daily, eat healthy, work hard, stay strong, build faith, worry less, read more, be happy, volunteer freely, relax often, love always, live forever. So, with this beautiful thought, a very good morning to all my dear students. I hope you all are in good health. I, Shreya Jadhav, welcome you all to my e-learning channel, and today we are going to learn English Class 9, Poem 2, Wind, written by Subramanyam Bharati. So let us know something about the poet. Subramanyam Bharati, born on 11th December 1882, died on 11th September 1921. Subramanyam Bharati was a Tamilian writer, poet, journalist, Indian independence activist, a social reformer, and a polyglot. Popularly known as Mahakavi Bharati, he was a pioneer of modern Tamil poetry and is considered one of the greatest Tamil literary figures of all times. So this is introduction for answers. Now whenever you write down any answers for in your fair books or for the test or exams, always remember you are supposed to write introduction first. So here it is: poem's name Wind, poet's name Subramanyam Bharati, genre poetry. Summary: the wind blows strongly and causes a lot of destruction. How can we make friends with it? So now let us go through the reading and explanation of the poetry along with the figures of speech. So now let us begin. Poem number 2, The Wind. The wind blows strongly and causes a lot of destruction. How can we make friends with it? We all know that wind is a natural phenomena. In this poem, the poet talks to the wind. The power of wind has been described, and the poet says that wind is destructive in nature. He has linked the destructive power of wind to the advertises of life and says that the weak people break down, but strong people emerge out of the adversities and stronger. The poem gives an important message that we should be mentally tough and physically strong in order to survive the hardships of life. A weak person breaks down like a weak building and crumbles. We must make these destructive forces our friends with our strength and determination. So now let us begin the poetry. Wind, come softly. Don't break the shutters of the windows. Don't scatter the papers. Don't throw down the books on the shelf. There, look what you did. You threw them all down. You tore the pages of the books. You brought rain again. You are very clever at poking fun at weakling. Poking fun means making fun of something, and weakling means a person who is very weak. So here the poet is telling or talking to the wind. He asks the wind to come softly. So he is saying that the wind should not be very strong and loud. It should be soft and subtle. Then he says that the wind is very powerful. It is destructive. It breaks the shutters of windows and scatters the paper. When the wind is very powerful, all the books which are kept on the shelf fall down. So, here the poet is describing the power of the wind. Then he says to the wind to look at the destruction that it has done. Whenever there is a strong wind, all the things that are weak, like small plants, tiny children, etc., they all get scared and they can even fall and get hurt. We can say that in the initial part of the poem, the poet is referring to the wind as a young child. He is saying that it should come softly, just like a small child does. In the later part, we will come to know that the wind is destructive, just like a youth, just like a young boy or a young girl who is full of energy, violence, and destruction. Frail, crumbling houses, crumbling doors, crumbling rafters, crumbling wood, crumbling bodies, crumbling lives, crumbling hearts. Here, the meaning of crumbling is to fall or to cause something to break, and rafter means sloping beam which supports the roof of the building. Here you can observe, dear students, that the word crumbling is repeated so many times to lay stress that everything crumbles in the face of strong wind. So the writer is saying that when wind is very powerful, it is very strong, it leads to breakage of everything. Houses which are weak fall. Doors which are weak fall. The beams on which the roof of the buildings are supported, they also fall. All the wooden structures fall. All bodies of people fall. Animals, lives, hearts. So he is saying that everything crumbles. Everything that is weak reacts by falling down and breaking in a face of adversity. So the poet is saying that whenever a weak person faces any adversities or any sort of challenges in their life, he breaks down and fall. The wind god winnows and crushes them all. So over here winnows, to broke grain free of chaff or to separate the grain from the husk. So the poet is addressing the wind as wind god, and he is saying that the powerful god of wind winnows, that means he shifts all the people on, and those people who are weak fall down and get crushed. So here a comparison is made between wheat and people. Just like we winnow the wheat to separate the grain from the husk, the wind god separates the strong people from the weak people. When there is a strong wind, all the things that are weak fall and get crushed. He won't do what you tell him. So come, let's build strong homes. Let's joint the doors firmly. Practice to firm the body. Make the heart steadfast. Do this and the wind will be friends with us. Here, steadfast means firm. So the poet wants us to make friends with the wind. That is, the adversities in our life. He says that the problems will not listen to us. They will come. We should be prepared. In preparations, we should build strong homes and close the doors of our house firmly so that the wind cannot get into. And then he says that we should always make our bodies strong and hearts firm to face these challenges. And then once we are strong enough, all the challenges will be like friends. We will not feel that they are troublesome. The wind blows out weak fires. He makes strong fires roar and flourish. His friendship is good. We praise him every day. The poet has kept the wind on a pedestal. He is comparing the wind to God. He says that wind is God and we praise wind every day. He adds that everything that is weak gets finished off in the face of strong wind, and all the things that are strong flourishes and grows to become stronger. He is giving us a very important message that we should not feel bad that we are facing many challenges and adversities in life. We should make ourselves physically and mentally strong to face these challenges, and once we are strong enough, we will overcome the challenges. We will become friends with them, and then we will be happy that we had these challenges in our life because they help us to become a stronger and better human being. So, dear students, this is been translated from Tamil by A.K. Ramanujan. I hope you all have understood the poetry. Now we will go through the figures of speech part. So now let us start figures of speech. The first one, wind comes softly. So here the figure of speech is anastrophe. A direct comparison is made to the non-living thing, and that is the wind, or we can say the inanimate object. The second one is don't break the shutters of the window. Here we have three figures of speech. The first one is litotes. Now if you want to remember it, always remember that whenever a negation is used to convey a positive meaning, it is litotes. So here we have the negation word not to convey a positive meaning. Whenever words like no, not and never are used, it is considered as litotes. Over here the second figure of speech, that is anastrophe. It means that over here a direct comparison is made to wind. That it is being said that please don't break the shutters. Means that it is being told to the wind. The third figure of speech is synecdoche. The meaning of it is a part stands for a whole or a whole stands for a part. So over here you can see that windows is being mentioned. So it is a part of what? It could be a part of room or it could be a part of home. So over here window, a word is being mentioned. So this will become synecdoche. Third one, don't scatter the papers. Over here the first figure of speech, that is litotes. Here the negation, the word not is being used to convey a positive meaning. And the second one, that is apostrophe. So over here a direct comparison is being made, or a direct address is being told or said to a non-living thing or an abstract notion, that is the wind. That the wind is being addressed or told that you are not supposed to scatter the papers. Next one, don't throw down the books on the shelf. Now the first figure of speech over here is litotes. You all know, my dear students, that this is a negation. The word not is being used to convey a positive meaning. The next one is apostrophe. Here a direct address is made to the wind. That is an inanimate object or an abstract notion. So apostrophe. And the third one is alliteration. Over here the consonant sound th is being used in the words like throw and the. You can see over here th is being repeated. So when letters are being repeated, it will be alliteration. The fifth one, there, look what you did, you threw them all down. So over here the first figure of speech, that will be apostrophe. Here a direct comparison or an address is being made. To whom? To an abstract notion or a non-living thing, that is wind. That They are been telling that look, means they are directly, the poet is directly blaming the wind, scolding wind. So this will become apostrophe. The next thing is, the next figure of speech is repetition. Over here you can see that the word you is being repeated twice. So it will be repetition. The next one, you tore the pages of the books. So over here the first figure of speech is apostrophe, and here a direct address is being made to wind. In this poetry you can see that apostrophe could be considered as main figure of speech. Why? Because over here the poet is directly addressing, contacting to the wind. Okay, he is talking to him like he is, or the wind is standing over there, or wind is a living person. So apostrophe will become the main figure of speech over here. The next figure of speech is synecdoche. So over here the pages is been mentioned, no, pages of the books. So here pages represents a part of books. So this will become synecdoche. The next one is you brought rain again. So over here personification. A human quality is given to any non-living thing or an abstract notion is known as personification. So over here we have the human quality of bringing. So this will become personification. The next one, you are very clever at poking fun at weaklings. So over here we have personification. A human quality of cleverness and weakling is given to whom? To the wind, an abstract notion. So this will become personification. The next figure of speech, that will be antithesis. So over here you can see that how the opposite word clever and weak is used. Next one, that is the ninth figure of speech, and that will be frail crumbling houses, crumbling doors, crumbling rafters, crumbling bodies, crumbling lives, crumbling hearts. So very easily you will come to know that which figure of speech is used over here. Can you all guess? Oh yes, that is repetition. You can see over here that so many times the word crumbling is being repeated for poetic effect. To emphasize more on the situation, this word is being used. The next one is synecdoche. So over here we have a human body part, that is heart, is been written, and the heart signifies one of the body parts. So we can say that this is synecdoche. The next one, the wind god winnows and crushes them all. So over here the first figure of speech is personification, and here a human quality of winnowing and crushes is being given. This characteristic or act is done by whom? It is done only by the human beings, and that quality is given to wind. So this will become alliteration. The next one is alliteration, that is the consonant sound W is being written or being repeated in the words like winnows and wind. So that W is being repeated. So this will become alliteration. The next one, he won't do what you tell him. So over here the first figure of speech, that will become litotes. Over here the negation, the negative word not is being used to convey a positive meaning. So this will become litotes. Next one we have personification, that is a human quality is given of telling, to tell. Okay, so a human quality is given to wind. And the third figure of speech which we have is alliteration. So that is the consonant sound W is being repeated in the words won't and what. So this will become alliteration. The next one, so come, let's bring strong homes, let's joint the doors firmly. So over here we have the word let's being repeated. So this will become repetition. And the second figure of speech, that is synecdoche. And over here the door stands for the home. The next one, practice to firm the body, make the heart steadfast. So over here we have the figure of speech, that is synecdoche. A part stands for a whole, or a whole stands for a part. So over here we have human body, that is body and heart. So this could be considered as synecdoche. The 14th one is, do this and the wind will be friends with us. The wind blows out the weak fires. Now what is given over here? The first figure of speech is alliteration. Over here the consonant sound W is being repeated in the words like wind, wheel and weak. You can see that all these three words are being starting up with the letter W. So this will become alliteration. The next one is personification. So here we have the human quality of weak, and that quality is being given to abstract notion or inanimate object, the wind. So this will become personification. The next one is, he makes strong fires roar and flourish. Over here we have three figures of speech, and out of that first one is alliteration. Here the consonant sound F is being repeated in the words like fires and flourish. The next one we have, that is tautology, that is unnecessary usage of words is being done in roar and flourish. The meaning is one and the same. The next one is personification. A human quality of strength or strong is given to the wind. That is an inanimate object. The next one is, his friendship is good. We praise him every day. So here we have personification. The human quality of friendship and praise is given to inanimate object, that is the wind. So this is personification. Okay, so dear students, this is all about the poetry. We have done the reading and explanation of the poetry. We have learnt about the poet. We have learnt how to write introduction for answers. We have done figures of speech also. I hope you all have understood it. If you still find any doubt or difficulties regarding the poetry or regarding figures of speech, feel free to comment in the comment section. Thank you for watching and have a nice day everyone.